Hey, what's up y'all? I'm back with another video. Earlier this year, I made a video covering 5 of my favorite herbalism farms for safe and easy gold, and seeing as it did pretty well, I figured I'd run it back with another series of herbalism farms to help line your pockets with some fat dough. Now, if you're brand new to gold making, or you're just looking for a way to drone and relax while farming gold, herbalism is definitely one of the professions in World of Warcraft. Since the only thing you really need to be able to make gold with herbalism is a computer and a mouse, the barrier of entry for the gathering profession is so low it may as well be in Deep Home. It's a perfect way for beginner gold farmers to begin using the auction house for real gold making purposes while still gaining enough profit to make it worthwhile. All of that yapping aside, let's just get right into the video. The first herbalism farm that I wanted to share with y'all is here in Terar Forest. Now, Terar Forest is pretty cool, seeing as it hosts both Cocon and Fellweed, which both fetch pretty decent price points. Seeing as the zone is fairly large, you should have no issues farming the zone non-stop, seeing as by the time you loop back around to where you started, the nodes will probably have respawned. After flying around the zone like a lunatic for an hour, I gathered a total of 498 herbs, including 301 Cocon and 197 Fellweed, for a combined total of around 3,500 gold in value. Now, while the farm would actually be pretty good if you're living in 2012, there can be an argument made for the next one being even better. Cocon is certainly one of the places in World of Warcraft, if you know what I mean. Now, unlike Terar Forest, there's only one herb in the zone, the Astral Glory, which makes up for it by having an astronomical price point, at the time of recording this video of course, especially for an old world herb that isn't some obscure Boblo uncommon mat from Classic that drops from 7 mobs in Decilis and a random elite in Feralis. Despite the inability to fly on Arcus, the herb is actually pretty easy to farm, especially since 7.3 came out 7 years ago and the mobs haven't gotten any stronger. After running around the zone for an hour, I was able to gather 529 Astral Glory, with a total of around 10,000 gold in value. I was honestly surprised by the price that the herb goes for while I was doing research for the video, and I was pleasantly surprised to open my mailbox the next day to collect my fat paycheck. The next herbalism farm I wanted to share is here in Zanger Marsh. Now, you're probably thinking, Construct, why am I only flying around one side of the zone? I'm no expert, but I can clearly see there are definitely nodes on the other side of the map, you know. And while you think you want to farm over there, you don't. See, on the other side of Zanger Marsh, there are a metric ton of glow cap nodes scattered everywhere, and seeing as they're worth too much gold, it's not really worth farming. What is this, some kind of get rich quick scheme? I thought we were farming Ragville. Anyways, after flying around the entire zone for an hour, I was able to gather 648 herbs, including 324 Ragville, 96 Fellweed, and 228 Glowcap, for a combined total of around 12,000 gold in value. I definitely think that gathering the Glowcaps is worth it, seeing as they auction for a stupid amount of gold at the moment, and seeing as they're used as a currency with the Sporegar faction, I can believe that they sell pretty easily. Bastion is one of my favorite zones for my least favorite expansion, since I think that the blue dudes are pretty chill and dope as well. There's actually another farming route for this zone that is slightly worse, so I'll do you a solid and not flash it on the screen for a couple seconds like I did with the other one to spare you time. Now, while the herb, Rising Glory for the Uninformed, itself doesn't fetch an insane price like some of the previously mentioned herbs in the previously mentioned zones, it more than makes up for it in its farmable volume. Flying around the zone for an hour yielded me an insane 2,387 herbs, including 1,367 Rising Glory, 936 Death Blossom, and 84 Nightshade, worth a total of 19,000 gold in value. While it may not be the highest value of the Shadowlands herbs, it's more than likely the one that you can gather the most of. So much in fact that I'm sure it more than makes up for it, but hey, maybe that's a video idea for the future. The last herbalism farm that I wanted to share with y'all is here in the Swamp of Sorrows. Now, I've been to this zone quite a few times in past videos, and I will always recommend dual gathering with mining and herbalism in this zone, seeing as there's just so much gold to make and so many nodes that you'd be missing out on quite literally free money if you weren't. Now, the main money in the zone, aside from the arcane crystals, is going to be from sorrow moss, which has historically held a pretty high value, but there's also a pretty decent amount of gold and sansum spread throughout the zone, so you're almost always gathering nodes. The dense amount of nodes also makes for pretty good time consumption, and by the time you've completed your loop around the zone, the nodes will have respawned. Flying around the zone for an hour was pretty simple since I used flight form, seeing as the treetops have solid mushroom-shaped hitboxes for some odd reason, and I was able to gather 1,498 herbs, including 837 sorrow moss and 661 golden sansum, for a combined total of 18,200 gold in value. For the sake of the video, I did not mine any of the nodes that I happened to fly by, which hurt my soul more than you might think, but I was willing to make the sacrifice for what will probably end up being at most 1.1 thousand views, maybe 1.5 if I'm lucky. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. I hope you learned a lot from the video. These farms are pretty easy to make, and I usually have no issues jamming them with info-packed word slop for y'all to consume. I plan on making some more beginner-friendly gold farming videos relatively soon, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss them, seeing as you have to be pretty new to gold farming to consume the media I present before you. As I've been saying in my past videos, my Discord server is officially open, and if you want to join, there's a quick PowerPoint presentation in the description, and you'll be able to find the link at the end. All that being said, as always, peace.